Memories.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Amnesia Memories. So, if you guys remember last time, we ended up with the normal end for Shin, is what we found out.
Yeah.
So we're starting it here. I redid the whole route, and I picked, ironically, we were only a few questions off.
Damn. It was the police, wasn't it?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
We messed up. We lied to the police. Because we didn't remember what was happening.
Yeah, so literally one of those questions, the literal answer that you have to give them is I don't know. So we had said something that we thought had happened, and like the true answer is I don't know.
Oh.
And by answering it that way, it did something different. And then like I ended up going with Sawa instead of Toma to hang out for a bit. Like there was a couple things that like changed some details and like kind of painted a little bit more. So like the details you guys missed obviously were some things that like just tiny ones that just kind of were like, oh yeah, the reason why Shin picked up an instrument because he wanted to join the band and all that stuff. So we're gonna kind of go from there, and I'm gonna just say Toma, and then what we're gonna do, just for the sake of trying to trim this, is we're going to go ahead and hit the magical skip button.
Woo! I just want like the Animal Crossing like talking like. Does Shin
I guess seizure warning, because by God there was a lot of flashing lights there. All right, so distract him. So this is how it stopped. So we're in. So this means that we're in territory that has not been read yet. All right, so let's go ahead. Distract him.
Huh? What do you mean distract him? Are you going to be right back? How long do we need to distract him for? That need another word. Oh, Shin, you could explain yourself once in a while.
I haven't done something that stupid in a long time. I feel like I'm back in elementary school.
Anyway, you should distract him with a topic that'll take a long time to discuss.
Were we always together back then?
Yeah.
That's the answer. I'm reading the guide. That's the one.
Oh, is it? Okay, pick that one then.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we were we were together pretty much always. You'd always go to Shin's classroom at lunch, but he'd make you cry, so you always called me over too.
Doesn't sound like much different from now.
Oh, right. When you were in the 3rd grade, the boys in your class...
30 minutes later. Oh my God.
Let me explain.
So that's interesting, because last time, he just kind of questioned it immediately.
Right.
You know, Shin is sure taking a long time. Where'd he go?
I'm back.
You're late. Where'd you go shopping? A department store or something?
Yes. I went to the supermarket in the next town over. The convenience stores here don't carry melon soda.
You must really like that stuff, huh?
Yeah, melon's disgusting.
Is that a problem? I got coffee for you two. Here. Also, Toma, thanks for letting me borrow your wallet. I'll pay you back tomorrow.
You know, because didn't he come back last time and he didn't get coffee?
Yeah, he got tea or some shit.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's not much.
Alright, thanks. So what were you two talking about?
A cute story about when you were little.
That's terrible. You really should try not acting like a grandpa for a day.
Don't you talk to your grandpa like that? You realize I was telling it to help her remember, right?
Oh, thanks for that. And Wing Slayer, thanks for keeping Toma occupied.
What? Where did this sarcasm suddenly come from?
I was always like this.
It came from in my heart. Was that really sarcasm? No, it wasn't. He was thanking you for talking to Toma and buying him time. Shin, just what were you doing all this time? I wonder if he'd tell you. You know, for like the main character of the... Because like Shin is the actual romantic interest. Shin's kind of a dick.
he's like the first one. Like he's on the cover of the game, but like he's like... I think that only just means he's like the one that everyone should try first.
Because like, he's not a very good boyfriend.
It's weird circumstances, right?
Good morning! You haven't woken up in your own place in a while. Your apartment is really great. It's really relaxing.
You know what we should do? We should hit skip to see if we've read this before.
Yeah. We have! Oh, that's when they find out, like, he took the car.
Yeah, alright.
Is it we should study together?
I think it's any option. Any option we pick will be okay.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just pick we'll study together. And that way we can skip. Alright. And then it's a promise, okay.
That's the one we picked before, right?
Yeah, but that's the right one.
Right.
Alright, and then the rest of the game could be any options we pick.
Oh, cool.
Yes, so that means that we can just read this off. Hey, mind if I sit next to you?
Okay. Sleepy time.
The second time the police took me away, I seriously started thinking that I should let you go. You forgot about falling in love with me, and this time we spent together in childhood was erased completely. I started to feel like I was just causing you trouble. I didn't want to make you worry about anything. So I thought that I should just let you go and forget. I figured that if they knew you fell in love with someone else, that wasn't something I could do anything about. But it was no good. I can't let you go. Sorry. I always thought that the reason you and Thomas stayed by my side was because we were childhood friends, and that it wasn't because you liked me as an individual. It was just natural for you to be at my side, so I thought it would be best to change from family to just a normal man. But you lost your memories, and you forgot everything about me along with them. And also, you're older than me, so you know, that's a thing.
Robbing the cradle.
Jesus. I got really scared whenever I thought that you'd just suddenly disappear somewhere. But you still remained here by my side the whole time. You believed in me. You know, it takes a lot of guts to stand by a guy who might have pushed his girlfriend off a cliff.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
very real. When I remember that, I think you're really amazing.
I think that's like the nicest thing he's ever said to us.
Yeah, I think this is the moment it tells us, hey, we did it.
Yay!
When I went to see your first live performance, I hate to say this, but I honestly thought you didn't have that talent.
Thanks.
That's why I said such harsh things to try to get you to quit. And if you didn't intend to quit, I made it clear that you'd better be prepared. I made it clear that you'd better be prepared to work yourself to death. But the next year, you were like a completely different person. I'd always seen you as just a childhood friend until then. But for the first time, I thought you were beautiful.
I became a woman.
I knew all of that pathetic and stupid things about you, but I fell in love with you anyway.
Oh, that's really rude.
I also knew deep down that you really had put in a crazy amount of effort. After the performance ended, you came rushing over to me with the biggest smile on your face. You asked me how you did, and you were full of confidence. All I could say was something stupidly simple like, you did well. And even then, you still seemed to be super happy with what I said. You said it was all because of the harsh criticism I gave you, and you said thank you. I thought I had lost. That was the first time I felt like I could never win against someone, and it was you of all people. To tell the truth, I already knew you were loved by those around you. They said you were smart, a hard worker, earnest.
But that was like an image you worked so hard to maintain. In reality, you do a lot of goofy things. I know the real you, but you don't have to work so hard to impress me. I already know you're amazing. That's why in front of me you can keep being your silly self. I'll protect the sweet, silly part of you, and the hard-working part of you. I'll protect everything. I'll be a man you can be proud to know, though I'm kind of scared. Hey, could you sing me a song? It doesn't matter what, anything you remember now. Oh. Any option? Maybe a song from the cafe. I don't want to reject him.
Yeah, I don't want to reject him. That was really sweet. So.
Hey, don't choose something that's something too hard. Isn't that jazz or chanson or something? Well, it doesn't matter. Even if you're no good at it, just sing for me.
Well, alright.
Big butts and I cannot lie. All right,
I'm
then.
100% that bitch.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Look at that big fat butt. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Shin's like, this is nice. This is what I wanted.
I like big boys, itty bitty boys, and the city boys.
Oh, Jesus. All right then. Yeah, after work. You know the crossing. Oh, skip.
Yeah. We read all this. That was a really sweet scene, though.
Yeah, it was. And any option.
Just do that one. Yeah.
I see, but it's true that you trust him enough to spend the night alone with him.
Yeah.
Let's go to work.
All right.
Work,
Several hours
work,
later.
Work.
All right.
The cursor was like on the side of Orion's mouth, and I thought he was like drooling for a second. What the fuck is that?
All right. So I know we already did this section, but just because of the tension, I think we should redo it.
Right.
All right.
It'll be really funny if you fail your exams because of this.
I'm not going to give you anything to laugh about. So let's settle this.
He like pulls out a dueling deck. Time to duel!
I summon the Dark Magician in attack mode. I play Dark Magic Attack.
You've activated my trap card.
I summon the Flaming Swordsman.
I summoned the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
You activated my trap card. Kunai with chain. Kunai with chain.
All right. Where should we begin?
Twinkslander, come over here.
Sup, Holmes?
On that day, you were the one who hurt her when she collapsed at the bottom of the cliff, right?
Let me ask you one thing. Why do you think that?
Process of elimination, among other things. The first thing that bothered me was what you said when she was discharged from the hospital.
I get a memory that I remembered.
Wait, Shin! She just got out of the hospital yesterday. Why'd you bring her all the way over here? Twigslayer, you look kind of pale. Is your head hurting?
You asked, is your head hurting? Remember that?
I don't remember. Did I? What would be so strange about that?
It's true she hit her head, but at first glance the wounds on her neck were the worst. She was bleeding pretty bad, and they even said at the hospital that those wounds could have been fatal. The people at the scene saw that too. After she was discharged, everyone noticed the bandages around her neck first. So why would you suddenly be so concerned about her head, Toma?
Because I heard her neck wasn't feeling as painful. I figured a blunt hit would cause more lasting pain.
Okay, I see. Then let's leave it at that. Also about her memories. She never said a word about regaining consciousness at the bottom of the cliff before losing her memories. She probably realized I couldn't have gone to find her knowing what happened, so she dismissed the memory as nothing. Yet it was among the first things she remembered after she lost her memories, and lost all the preconceptions she had. And she spoke about it directly and openly, that I had gone and found her. But I didn't go. That means someone she could have mistaken for me went and found her. She just mistook that person as me.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there really no possibility at all that you went and found her yourself?
None. It is impossible. If I had gone and done something to her, I'd have blood on my clothes. That blood pattern, there was blood all over the place. It's not like she had merely been pushed. That person probably tried to pick her up while she was covered in blood and tried to carry her on their back. They probably put their hands on the wounds of her neck to stop the bleeding. That's the most likely reaction. But if they did all that, it wouldn't have just been their hands that got bloody. They could wash their hands, but not their clothes. And what happens if they showed up at the back of the lodge looking like that? It would have been painfully obvious that they had touched her.
But I don't fit the bill either. Everyone knows I didn't find her and I came back to the lodge.
But by the time you returned, she had been brought back already, and everyone was in a complete panic. If you immediately rushed over to her and held her right away, your clothes would be bloody instantly. Nobody would notice or care what you looked like the second before.
I see. At the very least, we know it wasn't you then. But it still doesn't mean it was me.
The shoe prints. If they were taken to the police, they can do a comparison.
I doubt it. The person in question probably already disposed of those shoes.
That's very suspicious of you to say. You do know that I took photos of them before they were thrown away, right?
I guess, but there's no guarantee it would serve as sufficient proof.
There's one more thing. There's 2 reasons we went back to the lodge. The first was to help bring back her memories. The second was to see the culprit go and search for evidence. If brought back to the scene of the crime, I figured that they would go around and check if any evidence remained.
But the person who found the evidence were me and Sawa. You don't know who was in charge of that search.
I do know. I had Sawa record your conversation the whole time.
Wow! So you'd actually go that far.
Sawa helped us out a lot.
I really forgot how fucking horrible Toma was under these implications.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Jesus.
The reason Sawa argued with you when you tried to go dispose of evidence that night was because I had her keeping watch. If I was awake in the room with you, you would have been too cautious to try to leave. That's why I asked her. I asked her to wait for a while, and if anyone tried to leave their rooms, to call out to them.
I see. So that's why Sawa was up so late, in the same clothes she had worn earlier that day.
I never thought something like this would have happened, though. I feel terrible for asking her. Hey, and was that really an accident? Are you sure you didn't shove Sawa down those stairs?
I totally did.
Toma?
It was an accident.
Was it really, Toma? So he was found trying to dispose of evidence by Sawa?
I was just worried about you, and I didn't pay any attention to Sawa's room. I saw that you'd finally fallen asleep, but the moment I left the room, she called out to me. I panicked and ended up elbowing her. I don't think I even hit her that hard, though. Sawa's probably startled. She lost her footing and fell down the stairs. I was honestly shocked when it happened. I didn't intend for it to happen at all.
I think so too. Even though you hurt her, you panicked and left evidence everywhere. Now that I think about it, I doubt you'd ever be so cold-blooded to try to cover that up.
I wanted to come forward and apologize, but I didn't want her to know what I was trying to do. Now I can finally apologize to Sawa. Thanks for figuring it out for me, Shin. Shit.
And what about when you hurt Twink Slayer? What are you gonna do? When were you going to do it?
That was an accident too. I tried to pick her up, but my hand slipped.
That's a lie.
I'm serious. The reason I didn't admit it was because I lost my chance. By the time I made up my mind to admit everything and return to the lodge, it was already declared an accident. And when she regained consciousness in the ambulance, she looked at me and smiled and said thank you. I couldn't say anything. If I brought it up again and came forward, it would just hurt her. I made up my mind to carry the burden of this crime to my grave. Of course, when the suspicion was cast on you, Shin, I thought about coming forward many times. But I firmly believe that the suspicion would be clear, that were completely innocent after all. Just so you know, if you did happen to be arrested and charged for it, I would have talked right away.
I don't doubt that. While I was held for questioning, you came to protest the police many times. You even helped my mom in writing up a petition. I know better than anyone that you never intended to have me pay for your crimes. All you wanted was for this to be passed off as an accident. You didn't want anyone to be blamed. But that's wrong. Even if it was just for a moment, you had malice intent. You can't just pretend that didn't happen.
I can. Shin, you might have evidence of the crime, but not of the motive. I'm always going to say it was an accident. I'm sorry for trying to hide it, but I didn't hurt her out of malice. There's no reason why I would want to hurt her.
There is. Twixter, remember, what happened back then? What did you say, and what happened because of it? Think back. What did you really intend to do you really intend to just turn a blind eye to something that you don't want to see? Is that really okay? You won't be able to move on. Is your relationship right now so important? You can't destroy that. Remember!
Okay, Shin. Back then, what I saw was... memory time that we didn't see before.
Twixler, there you are. Are you okay? Can you stand up?
Shin, you came for me. Oh, what's happening?
Looks like you're out of it. The bleeding's pretty severe. You must have gotten cut by that glass bottle. This is exactly why it's bad to litter. Wait a second and try not to move.
Ow.
Just holding it isn't enough to make the blood stop. I need to get you a hospital right away. I'll carry you on my back. Hold on.
Shin, you're really kind.
Can you see me?
I heard all over. Everything's all hazy. I can't see well, Shin.
Why?
Huh?
Shin isn't kind enough. Don't you think so too? So why Shin?
What are you saying?
Why couldn't it be me?
Ah! Toma? No way. Why would Toma do such a thing? Why? No, I need to forget this. This was just a mistake. I need to forget everything.